Hello everyone, I am the Old Connoisseur, and welcome to our thoughts/review on the 20th episode of the 6th season of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, also known as Viva Las Pegasus, and I said our review because I have special guest, Roast Pal with me.
Hey everypony, glad to be here again.
Yay, friends. And we are here to, like I said, talk about Viva Las Pegasus. It's very nice having you, and I hope that we can have a very nice discussion.
Yep.
It's probably going to go crazy, but who cares? It's sort of like a podcast. And let's do this. So, I mean, again, beginning of the episode, Fluttershy and Applejack are called by the map to Las Pegasus, a place that obviously would be out of their comfort zone, but at the same time, that could be a good thing because it could bring them out of their comfort zone. And I saw that when I watched the episode. I'm like, okay, this could make something nice for them.
Yeah, that's what I liked about this episode too, where, I mean, I think this is only the second episode in the series where Applejack and Fluttershy are the main focus, because the very first one they had together was Bats, and that was way back in season 4, although they were on the opposite sides of the spectrum at that time, because, as you may remember, Applejack had the infestation of bats invading Sweet Apple Acres, and she wanted Fluttershy to get rid of the bats, but Fluttershy was quite new to the vampire bats, and she wanted to protect them, but Applejack said, nope, no way, and then there was a whole Flutterbat situation, but by the end of that time, it got this, a really great solution to it. With this episode, though, I think it was really great to go on the Q-Map mission together, although they were a bit hesitant of visiting Las Pegasus because, like you said, it was a bit of outside their comfort zone, but there had to be a reason for the elements of honesty and the elements of kindness to go on the Q-Map mission, so I think this was another great episode featuring those two.
When I think about it, their elements really represented because of Fluttershy wanting to show some kindness to the Flim Flam brothers, and Applejack wanted to find out the truth behind all of this. And when you think about bats in comparison, it's pretty much the same thing, right? Applejack saying, no, we have to let them go, we have to, like, remove the bats. Fluttershy saying, let's show them some kindness. This episode, Applejack saying, no, we can't talk to the Flim Flam brothers, there must be another problem, and Fluttershy saying, let's show them some kindness.
Yeah, I don't exactly blame Applejack for not helping the Flim Flam brothers because of the history with them. Like, they were trying to get the farm off them in Super Speedy Side Squeeze 6000, and then in Leap of Faith they had the Cure-All scandal. And so it's pretty obvious that Applejack doesn't want to help them, but Fluttershy has to convince her otherwise that there is something more that meets the eyes of the Flim Flam brothers, because like, this is the very first time where we see the two of them fighting against each other. And although this was basically done in the MLP Friends Forever comics in issue number 9, where they were featured with Granny Smith, where they were fighting over a girl over the two. Oh, wow. And it was up to Granny Smith bringing them back together. So in this case, it's just both Applejack and Fluttershy trying to get them back together, and also discover why they were arguing so much, as well as the other employees at the resort.
Now that's some interesting news, because you followed the comics. Though I'm actually, like, I'm amazed that you remembered that, like, what issue number and what it was about. And one thing that I didn't understand so much is that, so the Flim Flam brothers were fighting over each other, and they were trying to sell tickets at, like, discounted prices, but were they doing it because Gladmane just told them that the other one said something mean about them? It just, like, from a financial standpoint, they're selling tickets at a discount price. Gladmane keeps making all these deals. How is he making money? Or how are the Flim Flam brothers making money by selling tickets at a discount price?
Yeah, that's what caught me off guard as well, because, like, with Gladmane, he's another character who is the love-to-hate type of persona, you know, like with the Spoiled Witch in Crusades of the Lost Mark, and also with Svengalp in the main attraction. So, when I first saw Gladmane, I knew that he was going to be another type of those character. And did you get the Elvis Presley vibe of him?
Oh, absolutely, because when he said that, and he also said thank you very much, like this, like, I immediately knew that. And the main style, too, is obviously that.
Yeah.
I like it, though, because it's like, his mane is white and not black like Elvis's hair. It's like the opposite. Well, what I liked, okay, is that I could tell, obviously, from the beginning, and I think everybody could, that Gladmane, he's an interesting character, like, that has just been brought onto us, and he's the owner of a casino. I bet that he is probably going to run a scandal. It reminds me of the episode where Rarity was trying to prove Rainbow Dash innocent with the Wonderbolt, and because the new character was involved, and he was the one who did it, so Gladmane's the new character that involved, so he's the one behind it all, and again, it just seemed like him trying to bribe everybody with deals and friendship, and at the same time making his employers fight over each other was interesting. I mean, again, it sucks, but you have to admit he was being clever. I mean, what he was doing was working. Yeah, it was horrible. He's like abusing his workers' emotions and toying with them, but from a financial standpoint, yeah, it was working. He was making money and it was doing something. And it makes me wonder, like, the main six are basically like Equestria's police force now, because they're like, because in this episode it's like, oh, they're stopping they're stopping corporations and big business leaders, or at least like leaders of like casinos and such. So it reminds me like they're like a police force, because they're trying to stop like worker abuse in a sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean there. And speaking of the other employees, I really love the designs and the personalities of with the acrobats and also the two animal trainers.
Mm-hmm.
They had some like pretty interesting designs, and also they're really excitable and also really passionate about their jobs. And also like the way that both Applejack and Fluttershy found out from themselves, and also with the animals that the trainers were training, that they want to do their jobs like somewhere else, and they will be happy with that. But they had to get away from Gladmane because they really want them to stay there, and also he was the cause of their own arguments as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like pretty understandable.
Mm-hmm. I like the voice of, and I don't even think that we got her name, the acrobat pony. I like that voice, and I like the voice of I guess you could say her partner. I don't know if he was the director, the one with like the blue beard around all his face, muzzle, and everything. You know, I like the voice. It was I think he was like the German one. It was like he was saying, I don't want to make impressions because I'm probably gonna be bad at it, but you know, I just enjoyed a lot of the voices. I enjoyed the continuity in this episode because I saw some things. Obviously, you saw the Taurus ponies from Spice Up Your Life, right?
Yeah.
There was another thing that I saw in you know how from Stranger Than Fanfiction that I think it was a pony who was in a stand serving drinks and such, and she had like a very like sort of just sort of sad expression.
Oh yeah, I saw that
she
one
was
too, yeah.
sort of she was in the corner, I think, and it's just like funny seeing her like roam around. She's like a free roamer, and I guess that's true because like conventions are only temporary, so she's working here now. I like that. And one thing that I'm gonna say is that I appreciate not the animation, but the designs of just the ponies in the actual town and Gladmane's. I don't even think I saw really a single background character. They really made new designs for these characters. I don't think that they're going to become background characters like you know, Lyra, Bombot, or Derpy or whatever, but you know, you have to appreciate it because they thought of these designs. I hope that none of them fall under copyright or anything.
Well, I really like the way that Las Pegasus was designed, because it really captured of what the Las Vegas in our world is like, in terms of like there's one of the places where it looks like an ancient Egypt design with the Sphinx, and also like the way when they enter inside the lobby and it's got like all the fairground type rides in the arcades.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, and there was one that was it was reference to Dance Dance Revolution video game.
I fangasmed over that because I haven't played the game in like 2 years, but I was so good at it. I went to camp for 4 years and I played it every year for like the 2 months of camp, and I got the award every year since like year 1 for like the best person playing it. I beat the counselors and everything. So like seeing that, just like, it was so great. I mean, the roller coaster in the background and such, it looked like very crazy and like, I guess you could say physically unrealistic, but it was like, it did capture the image well.
The other thing I liked about this episode, that it wasn't as predictable I thought it was going to be, because it kept like showing you it gives you, how do you say, it keeps you guessing of what was going to happen next. And especially when Flim and Flam actually knew what Applejack was saying about Gladmane, and he decided to work together to help solve the problem despite Applejack's reluctance. And then Fluttershy disguising as a pony called Impossible Rich to try and get Gladmane to say the real truth, although that failed at first. And that's what it makes episodes stand out from the others, which always shows a predictable outcome of each episode.
I don't think that people really would have expected the FiM brothers to work with Applejack as well with their tactics of cheating other ponies. Now, one thing is, you said first off that the first part of the plan failed, but it was actually apparently part of the entire plan. Now that seems a little fishy. I think that they just rolled with it and just tried to do something else. But I'll take their word for it that this was all part of their master plan. I like the whole thing that Gladmane's saying, like, you can't con a con pony. And in a sense, that's true, because it's like saying, like, you can't con a con artist. They already know every rule in the book. They know not to be fooled. So I'll admit that, like, yeah, they should have given more thought to that. But that was why I liked the very end, where they basically said, oh, no, this is part of our whole plan. We knew that we couldn't out-con you, but we knew that, like, you would boast about your plan or what you wanted to do after you thought you won, basically.
Yeah, I really like the way that it all came together in the end, where Applejack and Fluttershy stand up against Gladmane in his office, and it makes you think that he wasn't going to blurt out his message over his intercom until Fluttershy has a hoof on the button, and then she says, Did it sound loud enough? Loud and clear. And I was like, oh, you just got burned.
I really, if there was one character of, like, the brothers or Applejack or Fluttershy in this episode to, like, have more character development, I think it's Fluttershy, because at the very beginning, well, not maybe at the very beginning, she starts off where she says, oh, maybe we do need to help the FiM brothers, and that shows her, like, wanting to go after other ponies. Then later on she says to Applejack in a rather, like, sarcastic tone, like, oh, maybe we need a pair of brothers to help us. And then at the end of the episode, she's the one pressing the button. She's the one who's being impossibly rich. Like, and you wouldn't think that. And it's nice that impossibly rich, being her, would, like, whisper, and maybe she was nervous. Maybe she was shy. That's why she was whispering. But it just shows so much character development for her because of how much she's grown and how much she's being out in the open in the public, because at the beginning of the episode she was freaking out over it. And it's funny how it switched to them saying, oh, maybe it's not as bad, and then they said, oh, no, it's worse than we thought it was. But then again, Fluttershy just survives it all pretty much, and that's great for her.
Yeah, and also I want to say something about what they learned from all of that, is that if it weren't for Applejack's history of the FiM brothers and Fluttershy showing them kindness, they wouldn't have tricked the trickster, which is Gladmane. I think I see a deeper more than that. I think what he was trying to portray with the message was sometimes you need a little deception to get to the real truth. And that's what basically Applejack, Fluttershy, and the FiM brothers were doing, to use a little deception of their own to get Gladmane to spoil the real truth. And that's what I got from that.
And that's something that can bring up discussion, and, obviously, I think that this will be a good time to ask the viewers to say what they think about the moral. Because, deceiving people, you don't want to do it. And in the case of this episode, they sort of had to, and they did it successfully, and they did it for, you could say, the greater good. And, yeah, you can say that Gladmane got his comeuppance, but, it still stinks that, they had, run him out of business and such, and not resolve it in another way. Gladmane could have easily found a way to maybe pay them more, or at least stop causing the fight. Obviously the damage was done. Obviously he might have gone too far already that they wouldn't have wanted to stay after he revealed that he was making them fight. But you could also say that they could have resolved it in a more friendly and happy manner, where they all still worked at Gladmane, and Gladmane learned, oh, you can keep a business in a happy and peaceful and calm way. You don't need fighting to make a profit. And that really is what I want to ask the viewers who watch this to share their thoughts on.
Yeah, and I also want to add that although FiM said to Applejack that this was once in a lifetime opportunity, and they went back to the scheming ways, I think they were, by helping Applejack and Fluttershy solve the problem, I think they do have a chance of actually being like better ponies, just like with Diamond Tiara. So,
I agree. I think that they're not going to do exactly what Gladmane did if they hire other ponies to be a part of their acts. If they own that place in Las Pegasus, I think that they're not going to treat them they're not going to make them fight to make a profit. I think that that's pretty certain.
Yeah. So no matter what comes next with the FiM brothers in future seasons, I think they'll be in a situation where they want the ponies' help again. not just Applejack and Fluttershy, but with the other ponies, and also maybe with the Apple family as well. And I think I can see some development with those two in the future.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to wait and see, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You certainly will. I think that we're going to wrap it up right there. This really was a nice discussion. I mean, I do enjoy having these talks, so I hope that we can talk about things in the future. This is really nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really want to. Yeah, I think that's it too.
So as always, I guess that we'll wrap it up like I said. I'm the Connoisseur, this is Rose Pal, and I guess we'll leave it up to you to share your thoughts and to subscribe to my channel, and of course, check out Rose's channel in the description below, of course, and she actually just uploaded a video, you said, right?
Yeah, basically, the new video I just released is part of my little arc with the IDW MLP comics, and basically, I'm be explaining my top 10 Friends Forever comics. So, so when you get to my channel, click on that video, and you'll be surprised with what the entries I got in that list.
So as always, we'll see you in the next video, and I hope that we can have her a part of my channel as well soon. Goodbye.
See you later, every pony. Yay!